But he's not on me. Oh. Good morning. Welcome to First Unitarian Church of Wilmington, Delaware. I'm Helen Foss, and I am delighted to serve as this morning's worship associate. Welcome no matter the hue of your skin or the origin of your ethnicity. Welcome no matter whom you love or where you are on your spiritual journey. You are welcome here. Now, welcome to all of you who are here in person in our sanctuary. Would you look to the camera over here to your left, wave to the camera to the people who are sitting out in the great beyond of the internet. We welcome them too. Now, please turn and greet the people around you with a smile. Thank you. You quieted down so quickly. Thank you very much. Isn't it good to be together again and to have so many of our children who are ready to go back to RE today? All right, my mic must not be on. Now it is. Thank you, Bob. Okay. Next. I have an important announcement. Small groups are once again underway in our church, and it's not too late to sign up. How many of you have participated in small groups? All right, now wave if you think it's something that people would find really worthwhile. Yes. So we have 3 different kinds. We have 6 groups that will be using the UUA-provided packets on a monthly spiritual theme, reinforced with a number of resources, and then that you'll be doing throughout the month. Then there are one group of Creativity Matters that uses packets on a spiritual theme, but they have art projects for creative expression. I love seeing the work they do. The third is a short story connection circle. It's one group, and they read and discuss the art of the short story form. Sounds like great fun. If you're a newcomer, this is a great opportunity to get to know members of our community. Again, you can sign up on a link in the e-news. Now, I send a special message to newcomers about the value of those small groups, but I want to remind each of you church members the importance of reaching out to our new members and our new visitors. Spot them usually with a handwritten name tag. Greet them and answer questions and welcome them. Now, Reverend Larry sent me the title of his sermon and the first few pages to help me prepare for this morning. I am totally intrigued and eager to hear more. He has sent me thinking about times when I was reeling from the current chaos in our world, when times when I could almost feel like I can't catch my breath. I certainly find myself longing for something more in my life, to figure out the next steps, to figure out meaning. And when I say it in that way, I'm remembering the Bob Doss years in this church, our beloved minister for over 30 years until the mid-1990s, who led us in thinking about what he called journey in meaning. You remember those? Those times, these times today, feel like a precipice for stepping out in new ways to continue that journey in meaning. But for now, let us prepare our hearts and minds for worship. Linda.
I'm the Reverend Larry Piers, the minister here at the First Unitarian Church of Wilmington. For visual accessibility, I'm 6 feet tall, grayish hair, blue jacket, blue stole, and glasses. I wonder if you'll join me in this to kind of match my excitement for today. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're just okay, stomp your feet. All right, great. So all is welcome here. Our call to worship this morning is taken from the writings of Ilia Diallo. We are situated in a web of life. The same currents that run through our human blood also run through the swirling galaxies and the myriad of life forms that pervade this planet. One and the same evolutionary current moves through all, a single self-transcending current of all-pervading energy that brings new life out of everyday circumstances. We gather together in celebration to remind ourselves of the mystery that is life, the mystery that is our life. We gather together in worship to remind ourselves that whatever is happening in the moment, there is always something more that flows within, through, and among us. So let us join in this celebration this morning.
If you have a chalice at home, I invite you to light it while we light our chalice here in the sanctuary. This morning, Bryn will be joining me in this two-part chalice lighting. We are happily modeling the co-generating work Reverend Larry talked about last Sunday. These words are welcome home by Unitarian Universalist Reverend Sherry Woodbury. Welcome who come in friendship, who long for genuine community.
May you be graciously received here as your authentic self.
Welcome who come in curiosity, full of questions, or simply open.
May you embrace wonder and encounter new delights.
Welcome who come heavy with fatigue, weary from the troubles of the world or the troubles of your particular life.
May you rest and be filled in this sacred space.
Welcome who come with joy for flowing rivers and gentle breeze, for changing skies and great trees.
May the grace of the world leave a lasting imprint on you.
Welcome who come with thanks for the altruism of the earth and the gift of human care.
So, this very Sunday is the first Sunday of our children and youth's religious exploration programs. And that's why they're joining us today, to help so that we can celebrate with them the launch of their new program year. We're going to give a blessing to them in just a moment. But I want to tell you this morning that when I got my tea at a little coffee shop near me, when I came out, there was a young couple, and they had a stroller with a little baby in it, less than a year old. And I said to them, "Who is this? What is their name?" And they said, "Hudson." And I said, that's probably why they have this blue cap with an H on it, right? Yes. And then I looked directly at Hudson and I said, "Hudson, I am committed to making this a better world for you." I say that to almost every young couple that I see with a baby. I know it's a little weird, but it allows me to make that commitment and to remind myself why I do the work that I do. It gives me faces. It gives me a tangible way to rededicate myself again and again. So I bet as adults in this congregation, you would want to make that same kind of dedication to our young people, right? So you say after me, we dedicate ourselves to making this world a better place for you. We dedicate ourselves to making this world a better place for you. So what would this world being a better place look like? Well, one thing that comes to mind for me is a more peaceful world. Anyone else have an idea? Mm-mm. All children have food. Animals are okay. Animals are safe and less car collisions. There's a movement that goes with this. Less car collisions with animals. Less people, let's say that one more time. Less people judging people for what they look like. Jack? All people get a complete and uncensored education. Maybe one or two more. No, just say what's your wishes. What is the wish? We share joy and happiness with everyone who is around us. And one last one, Tracy. Commitment to public health based on science. What a concept. Okay, in order to make this a better world, one of the things that we do is provide programs in religious exploration for our children. Catherine, could you tell us what some of those programs are for this year?
Yes, so this year our children and youth are focused on living our Unitarian Universalist values. And we have a couple of different age groups. Our Chalice children are newborns through first graders, and they meet in the youth center. Our Seekers are second and third graders, and they meet in room 29. Our Explorers are 4th through 6th graders, and they're meeting in room 30. And this year, our youth group are 7th through 12th graders, and they're meeting in room 30. And I am very excited about this year and all the wonderful things we have planned.
Okay,
And now, first of all, I have someone here who'd like to say hello. That's Josie.
We're going to sing the first song.
And-
We're going to sing the first verse of the song, and the kids will leave after that.
Okay, so we're actually going to sing the first song of our for our exiting all together. And after we sing the first verse, then all of the children may meet me at the back. But remember, don't go through the door without me.
Okay, great. And so making the world a better place means more love, more joy, more peace, and more hope. Let's sing to that as we join in our opening song, There Is More Love Somewhere. Arise as you're willing and able.
There is more love somewhere.
recite our unison affirmation. Please join me. First Unitarian Church of Wilmington is a beloved community that nourishes minds and spirits, fights injustice, and transforms the world through loving action.
Our meditation this morning is one that I invite you to do with eyes open. Provided some slides here of some of the latest pictures from the Hubble telescope. These words were composed by Robert Weston, entitled Out of the Stars. Out of the stars in their flight, out of the dust of eternity, here have we come. Stardust and sunlight, mingling through time and through space. Out of the stars have we come, up from time. Out of the stars have we come. Time out of time, before time, in the vastness of space. Earth spun to orbit the sun. Earth, with the thunder of mountains newborn, the boiling of seas. Earth, warmed by sun, lit by sunlight. This is our home. Out of the stars have we come. Mystery, hidden in mystery, back through all time. Mystery, rising from rocks in the storm and the sea. Out of the stars, rising from rocks and the sea, kindled by sunlight on earth, arose life. Ponder this thing in your heart. Life up from sea, eyes to behold, throats to sing, mates to love. Life from the sea, warmed by sun, washed by rain. Life from within, giving birth, rose to love. This is the wonder of time. This is the marvelous space. Out of the stars swung the earth. Life upon earth rose to love. This is the marvel of life, rising to see and to know. Out of your heart, cry wonder. Sing that we live. So allowing those images and those words to settle within the container of your own heart for just a moment. Let us join at a time of shared silence so that we can attend to whatever is arising in our own hearts, and we can hold there whatever concerns or joys are seeking our attention. Let us join now in this time of shared silence. Within the sanctuaries of our own heart, we hold both sorrows and joys. And we take a time each week to attend to those that are most pressing upon us that we want to share with one another so that we do not hold them alone. So take a moment and think about what is it that you're holding in your own heart today as a concern. What's weighing on your heart that's asking you to give compassionate attention? And if you so choose, you can speak it aloud in this room. Think about what's most drawing your attention right now. So, are there any concerns in this area of the room that you would like to share with the congregation so that we can hold them alongside of you this morning? Surviving this presidency. Safety for school children. The demonizing of empathy. Today, I hate being old. The safety of trans people. Racial profiling in the streets. Okay, now we can go to this area of the room. Death of a friend, Karen St. John. Check. The promotion of rage. Increasing political violence. Erosion of truth. Gun violence. Okay, you're going to have to speak just a little louder for my sake. Governmental censorship. Non-governmental censorship. Got it, okay. Oh, a name. Okay. Derek Prince. Anything else? Okay, you're going to have to speak louder, please. Frank. I only say first names. Okay, let's go here. The negatives of social media.
My niece lives in close to Washington, D.C. I'm not sure that's what
Okay. You're his niece. The Gen Z boys. Brother and wife, and his wife dealing with cancer. Okay. Historically black colleges and universities. The fall of honesty and transparency. The health of our world. So let's put our hands out like this, if you care to, and let's feel the weight of what everyone has named in this room. We hold all of these together. No one needs to hold anything alone. And if you care to do so, you can bring them, your hands to your heart, to symbolically say, we are holding this with you and alongside of you. Maybe, just maybe, there's a spark of joy here and there that we can hear about and do this fairly briefly. Who's got a joy in this side of the room? Yes, David? Beautiful fall weather. Okay, so I heard about this small church dinner last night as a result of the auction. Thank you, Pat. What else? The other joy? The Phillies. Okay. She said that with reservation for some reason. Yes, being able to go to the wedding of your niece. Yes. What about here? A joy? Spending an entire day among people you love.
I got a call the other day about the Phillies on Wednesday. They heard on the radio.
Okay. That could be contagious, so we're going to stop it right here around the phone. Okay, what else? What you saw? The fox you saw, Jackie. Oh my goodness, what a joy, what a joy. Okay, so I have a joy. The Reverend Christy Lunsford, who is the new minister at Mill Creek, has joined us today with their spouse. So if you don't mind standing up so we can... So this is Mill Creek, a nearby Unitarian Universalist congregation. So now let us have a time of musical meditation where we can hold all that has spoken. May all whose names were spoken and those unspoken find peace and healing this day. Thank you, Linda, for that music, and thank you, Mimi, for your song leading today. We had a wonderful service this summer, thanks to Rebecca Fisher, where several of our members shared texts and songs that they would include if they were compiling their own personal Bible. This service was inspired by the quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson, "Make your own Bible, select and collect all the words and sentences that are in all of your reading, that in all your readings have been to you like the blast of a trumpet." How many were there at that service? Okay, it was great to hear each other, and there's, of course, a recording on the YouTube channel. One of those texts for me is these lyrics by Peter Mayer, the Unitarian Universalist singer and composer. The song is Holy Now, which I'm sure many of you have heard, and if you haven't, I've selected just a few verses here to read aloud. When I was in Sunday school, we would learn about the time Moses split the sea in two, and Jesus made the water wine. And I remember feeling sad. Miracles don't happen still. And now I can't keep track because everything's a miracle. Everything, everything, everything's a miracle. This morning outside I stood, I saw a little red-winged bird shining like a burning bush and singing like a scripture verse. It made me want to bow my head. I remember when church let out how things have changed since then. Everything is holy now. It used to be a world half there, heaven's second-rate hand-me-downs. Now I'm walking with a reverent air because everything is holy now. For me, and I know that for many of us, there is indeed something holy that breaks through to us in the very earth and universe, speaking to us of something bigger, something more than whatever may be happening within the storms of our inner life or the torrents of this world. Whether it is the red bird singing like a scripture verse or the stars reminding us of a vast, evolving universe, the sentiments of awe and wonder break through to us. And now and then we stand not just on the dirt and the gravel of this earth, but on what seems like holy ground. Those fleeting moments when we sense that everything is holy now can soothe our individual and collective souls. Even when we are bracing ourselves through some personal turmoil, or when we collectively have been bruised again and again by the senseless acts of violence as we experienced this past week, and then the subsequent bitter blaming rhetoric that seeks to divide us rather than heal us, we can recall that there is also something bigger than these momentary events, and something more that wants to happen within us and through us to bring healing and hope to this world. Can I get an amen? Like the young person in Peter Mayer's song, our understanding of the universe is much different than the simpler cosmology that once split the world into a tiered universe of earth, hell, and heaven. Our understanding of the unfolding of the universe is even much grander than the mythologies and the stories that try to convey some of the mystery conserved in our sacred scriptures through the metaphors of earlier centuries of humankind. We strive for something more in our lives and our world, first of all, because we realize either subtly or directly that we are indeed something more. We are part and parcel of the cosmos itself. I showed some of the most recent photos from the Hubble telescope during our meditation today as a reminder to us of this grandeur, this grandness, whatever the word could be, this awesomeness that we are part of. Sometimes our prayer may be a simple observation of the stars at night, or the viewing of photographs of the larger cosmos that bring us to a place of humility and give us a glimpse of the tangible infinity that we are part of. These practices may allow us to take whatever current burden we may be experiencing and putting it into a larger perspective. It was a quote that I came across in Michael Mead's book, Fate and Destiny, that underlined for me the something more that already exists in the world. Mead, I think, reminds us that we are part of this something more. He writes, the word destiny comes from the Latin destinare, which implies that we are also of the stars. The sense of each soul being star-born appears in ancient astrology, but also surfaces in modern astrophysics. Theories of the Big Bang include the notion that we all carry within us a bit of the original exploding star. Each of us is secretly tied to the stars, star-born and star-bound, each a bit of a star in our own way. Now, if you want to know the absolute truth, I always imagined one day that I would be on Dancing with the Stars. Little did I know that I am already walking and talking and dancing with stars right here and now. Heavens, look at you. I don't know what this stellar perspective, I'll call it, does to your sense of self. But for me, it speaks of a connection that is much broader than my own simple biography. With these stellar lenses, I can look at life with a sense of awe as connected to something much grander than my own simple story. And at the same time, I can feel much smaller and humbler in the cosmic scheme of things. This ever unfolding and evolving universe has a past and an emerging future. And yes, this vast universe carries whatever becomes of any of our lives into an affinity that we will never know. Another writer, Judy Conato, in her book, Field of Compassion, How the New Cosmology is Transforming Spiritual Life, adds to this understanding. And so I'll share just these paragraphs, a few paragraphs from her writing. The universe story is a radically amazing one. It tells us that in some mysterious way we help bring about that which is manifested in the physical world. All life emerges from the same cosmic source, an initial creative event that continues to unfold moment by moment. Since we emerge from the same source, all creatures are part of a single community of life, even as we live in such rich diversity. We are joined together at the most fundamental levels of life. In other words, from this perspective of the interrelatedness of embodied matter, and each of us with our own specks of stardust, you know who you are, what we are, what we become, what we do, contributes in whatever way it does into whatever comes next on this earth and within this cosmos. Take that in for a second. So we strive for something more in our lives and our world because we also realize, subtly or directly, that not only are we indeed something more, but who we are, what we become, what we do, shapes how the cosmos evolves. This can be a mind-boggling realization. And at times it can be paralyzing to consider how everyone on this planet is not only part of a larger cosmic dance of stardust speckled beings, but also beings that are unfolding and contributing to something more, that which is emerging from us and which keeps becoming long after we are gone. This stellar perspective, I'll still call it, could shift our approach to the everyday and the very trajectory of our own lives. Traditionally, some religions have envisioned a heaven or a hell as our ultimate destiny. These afterlife places might not serve everyone's worldview today, or even metaphorically, it can be understood by some to make sense in some way. But hell, that's beyond my scope today. What about our destiny? Implying that we are of the stars. Again, it actually means that we're not just carrying forth what we have inherited from the cosmos, but we are also each in our own way contributing to what the cosmos would become. Brian Swim, who teaches evolutionary cosmology, calls the Big Bang the flaring forth. I love that image. So when you think of who you are and what you do doesn't matter, if someone asks, what do you do? Remember, you can say, I am flaring forth with the cosmos. What are you doing? How does that make you feel when you say that? Much grander, yeah. Okay, I've noticed some of you even standing a little or sitting a little taller. This can be awe-inspiring and terrifying at the same time. It's hard to ponder all of this when all you wanted to be able to do is to pay for your Starbucks coffee and move on to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing after that. What is that something more that we are aiming towards? How does this stellar perspective, I'll still call it, benefit not just getting through our days, but also contribute to what the cosmos becomes? That's a lot to take in. Maybe it's time to just drink the coffee as we realize, as Canado asserts, that in human beings there has emerged a unique consciousness that allows us to recognize our connectedness and to respond to the needs of the whole in a way that is life-giving. It's a lot to take in, but sip it slowly and recognize that that's part of our human vocation, is that consciousness that she describes. Caffeinated or not, we are in a moment in history, a moment in time when we are waking up to the awesomeness of this connectedness, this consciousness of our interrelatedness, and we are recognizing the burden of this unique human consciousness and responsibility, and how often we have failed, to live up to our ultimate vocation. It is our calling. It is our calling captured in these verses from a favorite hymn, Wake Now My Senses. Brighten my pathway with radiance here. Mingle my calling with all who will share work toward a planet transformed by our care. That's our calling. In our day-to-day life, we may sense that something more wants to unfold. This may be experienced as an inner nagging or a deeper longing for growth or change that we have put on hold for longer than we can remember. We may feel incomplete and have become so accustomed to this feeling that we can't imagine that there's any more growth or change possible or within us. Maybe we are rebounding from so much chaos in our life or in our world, amen, that we haven't yet caught our breath. And we're waiting to exhale. And just hoping and hoping again that something will shift, something will change for the better. Whatever the case may be right now, if you have some inkling of being incomplete, some lingering longing, or some subtle sense that there's something more that wants to happen in your own life, or something more that wishes to be expressed in you and through you on behalf of our divided world and our ailing planet, then welcome to being human. That inkling, that lure, is the unique consciousness that allows us to recognize our connectedness and our responsibility for what is, but also for what can be on our planet and in our cosmos. It is at work in our everyday life if we can attend to those inklings, to those lures that are luring us towards something more, to one edge of where we currently are, towards the growth and the change that wants to occur. However you experience it, a small glimmering sensitivity within you that longs, that imagines, and endeavors for something better, this can be an opening. This can be an opportunity. You are waiting maybe for the right moment to respond, knowing that not responding is already a response. Following me? I appreciate it again and again these days. These words from E.B. White. I rise in the morning torn between a desire to improve or save the world and a desire to enjoy or savor the world. This makes it hard to plan a day, he says. Sometimes we do need to rest, to savor, to recharge ourselves from all the saving of the world that definitely needs to happen. I may have just said that sentence for myself, Helen. Sometimes we need to rest, to savor, to recharge ourselves from all the saving of the world that we know needs to happen. Sometimes, not permanently, we need to take it a day at a time. We may need to rest on the threshold between what is and what could be. So we do not feel compelled to move forward too abruptly. We can rest in that in-between place with all of its anxieties and uncertainties, with all of its promise and possibilities, because maybe we are waiting for the right moment, or we don't know what to do, or we are resting up for whatever comes next. I've frequently quoted that sentence attributed to Viktor Frankl, the Holocaust survivor, psychiatrist, author of Man's Search for Meaning. Between stimulus and response, there's a space. And in that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. In that space lies our growth and our freedom. We are invited by life and circumstances at times to abide in that space. We know that we can't put our growth or change on hold indefinitely. We can't be on hold for too long. Eventually, we must actually respond. And yet that space between stimulus and response, between the circumstances of our life or world and our response to them, can, if acknowledged, occasionally be a generative space where we explore possibilities and prepare ourselves for embodying those possibilities. Through the ages, prayer and meditation have been a practice to go to when we need to not so much put life on hold, but to be held in the space of prayer or meditation. Think of those moments that bring a natural pause to our activity as an invitation to prayer, as an invitation to meditation, or if you must, an incubation stage in our creative process of being human. When we face a difficulty and find that our typical responses feel inadequate, when we are facing obstacles that seem to require more effort or hope than we have available, when we feel we must surrender to, call it what you want, to a higher power, a creative source, to God, or to your own deeper wisdom, or what some Buddhists call the big mind, then we begin to recognize that we need to retreat, to restore, and to rest in that space, that generative space. It is in the quiet of prayer, in the stillness of meditation, that we can often, as Unitarian Universalist minister Arthur Foote said, take down the defenses. Foote shared this prayer, which I offer us to make our own prayer right now. O you who are the heartbeat of life, I would recognize and cherish the wonder of each new day. Let me learn to be fully alive and alert, to be wholly and solely myself when I absently turn away from love, from beauty, from human need, and grow preoccupied with trivial concerns and superficial wants. Let something always awaken me to the recognition of the depth and wonder of this reality that surrounds me, that beckons to me. When I'm agitated or anxious, annoyed or distracted, let me remember the way back to this inner quiet and serenity. Amen. So there is a perennial wisdom that as human beings, our capacity to live up to our human vocation to create requires us to find times and times again for pausing, for incubation times. An incubation time can be a kind of prayer time where we surrender and wait to see what emerges. But we do need to emerge, hopefully with new thoughts, with new energy, and more resolve to live out our human vocation with this cosmos. So in conclusion, I offer these verses from Unitarian E. E. Cummings. I thank you, God, for this amazing day, for the leaping greenly spirits of trees and a blue true dream of sky, and for everything which is natural, which is infinite, which is yes. So may it be.
So, Larry, this is an extra year now from your original contract. I call it a blessing for all of us. Wow. This is the time in our service, the stewardship moment, when we reflect on what this church means to us and how we can support it to continue, for it to continue to be a thriving force in our lives and in our community. So I invite you now to take a moment, reflect on what this church means to you, and to your family. What difference has it made? What kind of meaning have you discovered that it has brought to your life? I can attest to a lot of meaning. During the offertory music in a moment, there will be a slide showing how you can make your gift from putting your cash or check in the offering plate when it's passed here in the sanctuary, or mailing it or contributing online for those of you at home. I invite the ushers now to come forward while we give the offering dedication. So please join me. To the work of this congregation, which is weaving a tapestry of love and action, we dedicate our lives and these, our offerings. Thank you, Linda. Lovely as always. If you have a chalice at home, I invite you to extinguish it as we now extinguish ours in the sanctuary. And I read these words by UU Reverend James Galininsky. I'm not saying his name right. Close. Faith like a light, he writes. Our faith, like a light, illuminates the path before us so that we can face hurt with love, cultivate compassion, live humbly in community, and confront despair with the awe of life. Though our flame is extinguished, our faith shines bright before us.
So before the benediction, I have Vivian Gray will come forward, one of our co-presidents, for an announcement.
Wow. Hi. I'm here to invite you to an event we call the Conversations with the Board. It's going to occur after the service next Sunday, the 21st, from 12 to 1:15. This is an informal gathering. It's not a congregational meeting, but we encourage you all to attend. This is where we introduce the board. We introduce, and there are a couple new members, and we introduce the search committee, and we have a conversation, which includes questions from you, questions from us. We have a couple of questions. I'll give you sort of the seed questions right now. We want to know what we're doing well. You know, give us some positive feedback. And then also what we might be able to do better. So I hope you all will make it. There will be snacks and childcare available. It's not Zoom, and there's no registration. So I hope to see you there. Thank you.
Thank you, Vivian. Imagine me as a 6-year-old at Our Lady of the Most Holy Rosary Catholic School. As we stood on the bleachers and we sang, "We've got high hopes. We've got high apple pie hopes in the sky hopes. We've got high hopes." So thank you for the boost, Vivian. I do have a few other announcements, just quick to make. If you're a newcomer and you can, join us for our Introducing Unitarian Universalism class. It'll be on Sunday, October 19th. If you're considered joining, please speak to me in any case, because I'd love to chat with you. And then the other thing, how many of you receive our e-newsletter each week? Look around. How many? Wow. You can put your hands down. I'm not going to ask you to raise your hands for how many of you actually read it because we have a way of knowing what percentage of people actually open it. But here's what I do want to tell you. If you haven't looked at it for a while, John Claney, in his new expanded role as Director of Communications and Technology, has been doing some wonderful work in redesigning that newsletter, and it's really worth you really looking at it. How many of you have looked at it and would agree with what I just said? Okay, so look at it. And it's not meant just for you, although it's directly addressed to you, but it's meant for you to share with neighbors and friends as well, so they know a place to come, to be with others, and to help together to heal our world. So, the benediction comes from Matthew Foss. We are made for something cosmic and will not fit peacefully into anything smaller. Our closing hymn is number 1028, The Fire of Commitment. Please rise and body your spirit as we sing it together.
Bye.